I really want to know what you were talking about before. Oh, I won't ask.
I bet you do.
COVID.
That was off the record.
Yeah, I got it all. I got it all. It was. I wanted to actually start off and ask: did either use before you began production or even pre-production? Were either you familiar with the game? Had you any kind of awareness of it?
I was been familiar with the game for a long time. I did not play the game, but I knew about it from Todd McFarland, who's a partner of ours actually in Spawn, and he handles the merchandise for the game, and he kind of educated me about the broad reach of the game. And after obviously we started working on the movie, I attempted to play the game.
and I a little later found out about the game from Jason, who told me about the movie development, and I started playing it and diving into the deep lore and expansive universe of Freddy's, and got quickly up to speed and completely addicted to the game.
Right. Because I'm wondering, like, I mean, it's, there's been that sort of, I don't know if commentary is the right word, but the idea of that, like, a video game is a passive experience, going to the movies is a passive experience, whereas playing a video game is an active experience. And that's kind of been one of the reasons why it's been hard to translate video games into films. I'm wondering, I mean, broadly speaking, I mean, what were the kind of challenges bringing Five Nights at Freddy's into film, I guess?
Well, I know it was a long journey to get the adaptation correct, and getting the script right was a big priority, not just for Blumhouse, but for the creator of the game, Scott Cawthon. So I really worked with him to hone in on what the blueprint of the story should be, and figuring out a way to make that feel not just authentic for the fan base, but really a fulfilling cinematic experience for moviegoers, both who are aware of the game and audiences beyond that too.
How about you, Jason?
What was the question? What did you ask?
I mean, basically just like the fact that it's a video game, the fact that people have...
Oh, the adaptation. Yeah, I think it is typically hard to adapt. We've done it before, but I think it is hard, and I think it takes great creative minds. I think Emma and Scott and all the people involved. It took a lot of time and energy to figure that out, and I think your point is correct. I think one of the reasons for that is exactly what you mentioned. There's a big difference between going back and forth with the game versus watching a television show or a movie.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, based on, I suppose, I mean, obviously time will tell how I suppose audiences respond to it. But I'm wondering, I mean, you mentioned there that you've done other video games before and tried to adapt them to film. Do you see Blumhouse trying this again with another potential series? Anything you have in mind?
Well, there's nothing I have in mind. There definitely, there's other development that we have based on video games, which we haven't announced yet, but we are doing it. But I love using established IP. It's a great delivery system to tell different kind of stories, and to tell stories that would struggle finding distribution or struggle finding broad distribution. Using existing IP is a way to smuggle those stories into theaters around the world. So it's something that I am looking at again and would do again, and it's something that I think is fun to do.
How about you, Emma? I mean, how do you find about taking on a video game series and then trying to, I guess, funnel that into a film? I mean, I suppose, I mean, when you're kind of dealing with, like I said, like an existing IP, I mean, there's obviously that level of expectation, I guess.
For sure, yeah. I mean, one of the things that really grabbed me when I first heard about the project from Jason was I thought the concept of this as a film worked so well in the genre space, even outside of the game. Like, I would want to go see a movie in this setting in a heartbeat. Then to bring into the fold the fact that there was such a excited fan base and an audience that was just primed and ready and eager to go to the theaters to see this was such a magical combination. So I felt so fortunate to join that team.
children possessing giant robots. Tell me how to stop them.
You don't. It's too late. He's coming.